Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here today. My name is Carlee Forbes, Mellon Curatorial Fellow here at the Fowler Museum. And today we're pleased to present today's 30-minute Lunch and Learn on student research and resources at the Fowler. I'll be joined by Mellon Collections Information Coordinator, Kate Anderson, and we're excited to highlight the Fowler's resources and opportunities that are available to students at UCLA and beyond. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. If you have any questions during the program, please submit them through the Q&A function found at the bottom of your Zoom screen. You can submit and upvote entries that you would like to be considered for us at the end of the program. All right, I'll pass this to Kate.
All right. So this is something for everyone to keep in mind, students and non-students alike. We're open today, actually. So if you don't know where we are, we're right between Kaufman and Rice Hall. We're open to the public Wednesdays noon to 8 p.m., Thursdays to Sunday noon to 5, and we're closed Mondays and Tuesdays. We are a free entry, and we have been for the last 15 years or so. If you're visiting us from off campus and you're parking, Lot 4 is the best. So we're open to students at all those times. We're also open, we have exhibition openings every so often that are open to both students and the public for free. Our next one is January 12th. It's a Saturday, and that's for the show Fire Kinship, Southern California Native Ecology and Art. So that's part of the Getty's PST initiative that we are participating in. So that would be a lot of native art and fire management practices. So that is free to everyone, including students. We also have lots of programs, both online and in person, that are open to the public, usually free by and large. And then we often partner with other departments on campus. So that may be a good way for clubs and student associations to get involved or bring in students that way. The easiest way to get to know these things is either our website or you can sign up for our newsletter at the link that you see there. Can we go to the next one?
There you go.
Okay, so for you, students, first of all, UCLA students receive a free student membership. So that could include early access and to programs or something, or like wine with the curator type activities where there are certain events that are for members. So that is a great way to get to see more of what the museums have to offer. And just something to keep in mind going forward. Museum memberships usually cost money, but one way to get that for free is as a student membership. Yeah, we are open late on Wednesdays. A lot of times there's a Fowler Out Loud, so there'll be some sort of performance or something in the amphitheater, and the galleries will be open till 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. We also have a nice courtyard. We've got some tables and chairs in there. It's a nice place to study. It's a pretty quiet area, so you can access that, but only during our open hours.
Great, thanks, Kate. So we've also had quite a few questions about various employment opportunities at the Fowler, and I've listed off some of the positions that students can fill at the Fowler Museum. So you can see there's visitor services, gallery attendants, student educators. Students can also work with events and public programs or in the front office, at the store, or in our NAGPRA and archaeology offices. So these are paid positions, often in various capacities with work study preferred, but not always. So we encourage you to check out our website, fowler.ucla.edu/opportunities, to see any listings that we have there. And work study positions will be on the My UCLA portal or through your financial aid portal. So you can see there's a lot of different departments represented here. So if you're interested in thinking as well about a museum career, this is a great way to get some experience about the different kinds of work that happens here at museums. We're also thinking a lot today about various forms of academic credit that can be fulfilled at the Fowler. And these can take place in a multitude of different ways, but all for academic credit, mostly through UCLA, but also through other institutions. So we do have these internships largely through right now through what's called the History Core program, which is through UCLA's history department, where students in History 195 will be placed here at the Fowler to work on various projects, largely in collections and curatorial, depending on the term, or in other departments on a case-by-case basis. So if you're interested in an internship, I would encourage you to be in touch well before any term start to discuss with a possible supervisor what that might look like and what kind of work you would be doing, and if there is capacity to host that here at the Fowler at that time. There are also independent study opportunities. These are largely through the Office of Undergraduate Research and the SRP 99 course. So rather than an internship, which is going to be some kind of task-based, usually project-based project, independent studies will be something for your own research, where you develop a research question and it's something that you will be fulfilling through your academic work here at the Fowler Museum under the supervision of a staff member here, also in collaboration with a faculty member at UCLA. So again, these both require quite a bit of advanced work, but they are available to students. We really want to encourage student engagement with our collection, thinking about it as a space where you can foster your own research interests and experience working with objects.
We are also running, we do like a field work placement with the MLIS program. So that's the Masters in Library and Information Sciences. So that's a more limited program open to master students in information studies. But it's just one sort of example of the kind of work we can allow. So collections based or archival based. In this case, this is something that really helps us with our database. So we are open to, there are, it doesn't have to just be an art history or just a history major or background. There are many different skill sets that we could use in the museum. So it's just one example that we have.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that like students who want to think creatively, like we do a lot of material science here at the Fowler and conservation. So there are expandable opportunities here. What we're listing here on the screen is just what we have in place right now. But if you're a student and you want to work with objects and you have the space and willingness to put it in your schedule and you're motivated, then please be in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We also have a couple of targeted internships. One is the Getty Merrill undergraduate internship. This is something that's funded by the Getty Foundation, and it happens each summer. The Fowler will have various opportunities available through that program. It's going to be across different departments. It depends on year to year where the projects will lie. We've had them in communications and digital projects and curatorial and collections. So really just check out the Getty Merrill internship page to see any listings. Those are for students who are residing in LA County or attending an LA County college. So they are a bit geographically restrained, and you can see all of the other eligibility information and details available on the Getty's website. But typically you can see that those applications will be due placed in the spring for early summer start of an internship. But we also have, you can see on the screen here, Alana, our wonderful intern from last year. So she's someone who found funding through her own institution and really did a self-driven internship project here where she initiated the project, gave us a plan of what she wanted to do, found the supervisor, found her own funding to work at the Fowler last summer. So one thing we do want to stress is that there are no volunteer opportunities, long-term volunteer opportunities at the Fowler. Something will either have to be paid or for academic credit. We might have like one-off volunteer opportunities, like for an exhibition opening. We might need help welcoming guests or something like that. But typically, if students are going to be in the building, you have to be compensated for your time in some way, whether that's through monetary or academic credit.
Yeah, and I would add, yeah, so the Getty Merrill opportunity is paid.
Mhm.
And even if you're interested in other museums throughout the city, there are lots and lots of placements. So it's not just for Fowler Museum. It's kind of everywhere. So if you can probably find something to match your interest and your location maybe within LA County.
Yeah, it's a really stunning program.
Yep.
They also host an arts summit, and there are learning communities where you can interact with all different arts professionals across the city. So, yeah, if you're eligible for Getty Marrow, it's a really fantastic opportunity. So then we just wanted to also touch on various research opportunities where you can engage at the Fowler. And one of the big things that we have for graduate students at UCLA that we wanted to highlight are different graduate awards. So there's the Ralph C. Altman Memorial Fund, which is for research addressing non-Western arts. There's an Arnold Rubin Award for students who are researching the arts and material culture of Africa, Oceania, and Native American, as well as unconventional arts of living people, regardless of geographic area. There's a Pearlstone Award for arts and material culture of Native American peoples. The Sarah Elizabeth Gilfin Award for Latin American art history, and the Rosaire Research Award considering material or cultural collections or archives, with priority given to students using Fowler Museum collections and following Indigenous research protocols. So I know that was a lot of words right there, but you can see on the Fowler Opportunities page, which is listed here, additional descriptions for these awards as well as their due dates, but you can typically note that those will be due around late March of each year. So these are providing funding for students to work on their research as well as work with our collections.
And then we also allow research requests through our portal, our online database. So research requests would be short-term projects tied to coursework, independent studies, or dissertation. So you want to make sure it's tied to some kind of work that you're doing through your department or your class or with an advisor, something like that. We've facilitated these kinds of things, even up to PhD dissertations. So submitting a research request is very important for both for here and any other museum you might want to contact for study at their collections or even archives, anything like that. We have a function in our online database for research requests. So if you go to our Fowler, the website, and you go to collections, that's where you can navigate to our online collection. And if you're in a record, you see a work that you'd like to submit a research request for, you can see that in this top bar right here. You'd be able to click on that. That'll give you a pop-up that asks you for some information that we absolutely need in order to facilitate your request. So that would be your name, your contact information, and then be prepared to provide a research proposal and a CV or resume. The most important thing to consider for research requests is to plan ahead. If you need something next week, it's probably not going to happen. We like maybe 3 months ahead of time. I know that's sometimes hard with class schedules and everything, and you're not even sure what you're going to be taking then. That's okay. It should be as soon as you possibly can to allow us the maximum amount of time for us to facilitate. We're a very limited staff. So when you request something, that takes up our time, which we're happy to do. But we are always in the middle of exhibitions and things like that. So we'd have to pull those objects for you and set up a time. So when you make that research request, think ahead to, plan a few months in advance if you can. We have, regular business hours for working Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We can't facilitate anything outside of those times, no matter what. Make sure you're on time. And you want to have like a targeted list of what you're looking at, which we can help with. So it doesn't really work if you say, hey, I want to see these 100 objects. because that's a lot of time to pull everything, and then there's probably you won't be able to get to see everything. So we're looking for, a small targeted list, which we can help you with. Um, so yeah, something to keep in mind when you are doing, if you're doing archival research or museum research in museums, this would be good to keep in mind no matter where you want to do some research. It is important to note, though, that no research is allowed on Native American belongings and ancestral remains per the updated NAGPRA regulations outlining duty of care, as well as the UC policy on cultural affiliation and repatriation. Please contact the Fowler UCLA NAGPRA office with any questions regarding access. So we do not allow Native belongings to be accessed for research purposes for study. They're purely for their communities now. And many are in talks to go home. So per ethical and now legal standards, if you request to study Native belongings, we will more than likely have to decline that request. I think that's it for me.
Great. So we really wanted this to be a space both to welcome students. We really want you in our building. We want you to come see our exhibitions and to engage with our programs, but to present as well the myriad of opportunities for engaging with students on a longer term basis, whether that's through employment or an internship or your own independent study, and to give you a few tips and tricks on that. So that's really all we have for today, and we'll open up this time for Q&A. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A.
Yeah, I see some. So do you have any postdoctoral fellowships?
So I'm currently here on a postdoctoral fellowship, which is great. Those are something that you're going to want to keep an eye out for postings, both via the Fowler opportunities page as well as your field's various job posting sites, because those are going to be usually on a project-based or grant-based situation. So mine is a Mellon Foundation funded project that will be ending soon, as well as there's other postdocs in the building that are through various special initiatives. So those aren't going to be something that's offered regularly at the Fowler, but keep an eye out for any opportunities.
Okay, and then I see another one here. Is there virtual or digital access to archives?
I'm hoping that person could maybe clarify to archives like paper archives. So we have a newly launched, largely thanks to Kate's efforts, our digital online collections. And those are going to have affiliated archives that are available with many of the objects, particularly on the project that we've been working on about the Welcome collection. So any of the archives that we have from Wellcome Trust should be attached to their applicable records there. But in terms of the various other archives that the Fowler houses from different scholars and collectors, those are currently not digitized and would also need to be a research request.
Yeah, so yeah, we just dropped a link to our online portal in the chat. So that's there for you guys to take a look at. So that's anything we have digitized will be attached to an object record. So many things came with archival cards in the 1960s when they were donated. So we have thousands of them there already. Carlee is working with some interns right now to get more and more of them in there. But yes, we do have some archives of various donors or collectors. They're not accessible right now. That would have to be a much longer process to be able to do that. But that's a really good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for asking that. I'm seeing one here. Someone on the back end, I don't know how to say that we're going to answer this, but we're going to. Can graduate students enroll in an independent study course with the Fowler? And the answer to that is yes. That is going to also be on a case-by-case basis. We're really looking for students who have a great idea of what kind of research you want to do here. It can't just be I'm interested in museums. But we have hosted graduate independent studies to work with particular collections to further a dissertation proposal, to add to a dissertation chapter, et cetera, et cetera. So that is done in conversation with both the Fowler and your academic dissertation advisor. And it's something that we're very willing to open a conversation about. So if you have a question about that, please feel free to be in touch and we'll route your question in the right direction.
Yeah. And then and if you're wondering like how do I get in touch? There's at the link that we posted to the portal, there is a general Fowler Collections email. But if there's someone particular or particular department that you want to reach out to, all of those emails are also on our website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're right in the center of campus, y'all. Come see us sometime. We'd love to, meet you, hear more about your research, figure out some ways to get you more involved and to really open up those doors so that we can create larger conversations. We've got about like 10 more minutes if anyone has any more questions. This program will be recorded, so if you have any questions, you can feel free to come back to it, as well as copy any of the links that we've provided. I don't know if we missed anything, Kate.
I don't think so.
No, we can plug again Fire Kinship, the opening
Yeah.
that will be on January 12th. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
those openings are super fun. It'd be
Yeah.
great to see some more student turnout there. As well as keep an eye out on our website for those Fowler Out Loud, those often Wednesday night activities. Those are a really great time, and allow also for connections with other students, and to just come experience something new. So I'm not seeing any more questions here, so maybe we'll close it out a few minutes early. But really, thanks for coming, and we really hope to see you through our doors someday soon. Not just on the internet. Come see us, come see our objects, come see the exhibitions. We'd love to talk to you, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much.